Hello and welcome to another Game Corner. My name is Chris, and today we got another Vanguard game for you. Today's matchup will be between me on the left and Troy on the right. I will be playing Bermuda Triangles, like always, and he is going to be playing Kagero. Not 100% sure how his deck is filled out. I know he bought several boxes of set 1, so I would assume it's slightly modified, if anything. Me, of course, it's a hand built deck from scratch out of the one box of Bermuda Triangle stuff. So it's not perfect, but I really like it. So this game is also a rather exciting game. It goes on for quite a while, and there are a lot of ups and downs to it. So I hope you enjoy watching it as much fun as I had playing it. Also, camera is on the table, so it does have some focusing issues. Every time we kind of bump into the table, it wants to refocus on something else. So I do apologize for that. We're still kind of testing around with the camera and still kind of learning what we can do with it. And not only that, we're still kind of learning the game. There are a few misplays in this match, which nothing too big. I mean, they kind of hurt us both, so it's not too much to worry about. In games such as these ones, you're gonna see misplays happen, and we just kind of have to learn from them and keep on going. So let's go on ahead and get this commentary started, I guess. I started off with a pretty okay hand, nothing really too great, nothing too bad though. I mulliganed two away. I both were triggers, I believe. And he is also gonna mulligan two away, so not too bad for both of us. I would assume that he's got a pretty decent hand starting off. Um, Also, I would like to say that we are kind of still at a league thing, so we're kind of chatting around with other people and with each other, so we may take a little bit more time than needed, but sometimes it's going to help me out whenever I'm trying to explain some of these cards. So we're going to go on ahead and cut up again. Um, Not a lot of people cut a second time, I've noticed, but I still like always cutting after every shuffle. It's been my thing since I've been playing trading card games. Every time you see someone shuffle, it's always good to cut their deck. Not saying that they're gonna cheat or anything, but you never know what'll happen. So we're gonna go on ahead and start out the rock paper scissors to see who goes first. A lot of ties. We almost went on ahead there, but I lost, so he's gonna go first. He is gonna kind of just search out things while I kind of look at my references to what I'm playing, just to make sure I can do things right. I'm gonna start Mermaid Idol, um, Riviere. Sorry about that. And he's gonna start with Lizard Runner Undu, and he is going to ride to Dragon Monk Gojo. Um, at this point, it's the first turn, so there's no real reason to do much else. You could always try to get ready for your next turn, just to get some cards out of your hand, just so you're not, so you don't use them on like a guard and misplay there. But so he's gonna also call Werven Strike Jaren to his rear guard and pass. So I'm gonna start. I'm going to ride into Mermaid Idol Fluka, and I'm going to use her ability when I call her to the Vanguard slot or a rear guard position. I can soul charge one. I soul charged a draw trigger, I believe, which is not too good for me to throw away a trigger like that, especially when it would have been my whenever I attacked, I would have drawn into that trigger, which would have helped. But you know, can't help it now. So I'm gonna go on ahead and just attack his Vanguard. He's gonna take the hit since it's the first one. I reveal a Snow White Claire, so it's not really gonna help me. And he's gonna throw away a Demonic Dragon Berserk Yaksha as his damage. So that's all I'm gonna do. I didn't call any other rear guards or anything, which is Not the best play, I would say. It's always good to have at least one rear guard somewhere, especially if it's behind the Vanguard. Um, but in this situation, I feel like I might be able to get a turn or two off by just playing conservatively. So he's gonna ride Berserk Dragon and call Werven Strike Tejas in front of Jaren, and he's going to call Flame of Hope Aramo to the rear guard behind his Vanguard. So he's going to go on ahead and boost and attack uh, with his Vanguard and hit me. I'm going to take the hit because the first hit. Um, then he's going to attack with Tejas, which is a really nasty combination with Jaren, because when Jaren boosts Tejas, he gets a bonus of 6,000, I believe. So he's hitting at 18,000, I think, right off the bat, which is really, really heavy damage. So he's going to hit the Vanguard. Of course, I'm not going to block it. It'd be wasting resources. So I'm up 2 damage to 1. Not very bad for a starting turn of attacking for him. So I proceed to my turn. I'm going to ride a Snow White Claire, give 2,000 to myself, my Vanguard. I'm going to call a Snow White Claire and give 2,000 to the same. And then I'm going to call Blazer Idols, or Blazer Pleasures in Japanese if you wish. And I'll give the 2,000 my Vanguard. I'm going to attack his Vanguard. He will block. And I'm going to draw into a critical trigger, which is excellent for me. So playing conservatively for me has kind of paid off since I get to keep some things in my hand, and I'm not wasting spaces and resources on calling unneeded rearguard. So immediately I'm hitting 2 damage, and I'm giving the extra 5,000 to my attacking, of course. Um, and then I'm going to attack with my second Snow White Clear. He will block that damage since he is up 3 to 2. So uh, he must be a little worried at this point since it's shifted so quick from him being ahead 1 to me being ahead 1. But we'll see what happens here. He's going to kind of take a second. He does have a grade 3 in his hand. It is a Yaksha. And he's not going to play it. I think he's hoping to get into a demonic or dragonic overlord. Sorry. So he's just going to go on ahead and attack with Tejas, in which I will throw away 2 triggers to block it, and then he is going to attack with Berserk Dragon with Aramo boosting, and I think this one is just good to take the hit. He's only going to be at 3, and I'm going to be at 3 if I hit the heal trigger, and the next turn I can heal. But his trigger draw was a Dragonic Overlord, so that's not looking very good for me. He got the card he wanted. If it was only one more card away, I might have been able to throw it into his damage pool, but looks like card draws are on his side right now. So I'm going to go on ahead and ride into Super Idol Salem, and I will pop her Counterblast twice and give her 6,000 extra. So I'm going to be hitting for quite a lot to his Vanguard. At this point, I'm not really worried about field control, so I'll just do the damage and hopefully end the game quick. I pop into a heal trigger, so I'm going to heal myself 1, which is excellent, and he's going to go on ahead and take a damage. So it's 4 to 2, and I gave my extra 5,000 to Snow White Claire so she can hopefully hit on an attack, in which I will attack his Tejas, just because at this point I am a little worried with Tejas just sitting there, and since I got the heal trigger, I can afford probably another turn, so might as well change strategy right there in the middle of the turn and go for field control. Especially since he is now going to ride into a Dragonic Overlord. It's not very good for me. He's also going to call Dragon Monk Goku and Demonic Dragon Berserk Yaksha to his rear guards. And right now, it's not looking very good for me. He's got 3 grade 3s and plenty of time. He's also got 4 damage, which is going to let him use Overlord's ability. but he's gonna attack with Goku. I'll block that attack, and then he is going to use Draconic Overlord's ability. Now, what that lets him do is he gets 5,000 extra, and if he attacks a rear guard, he gets to stand if the attack goes through. But when he attacks a rear guard, he loses his Twin Drive ability. So, not bad. It's kind of an option to where if I could block it and he's lost a Twin Drive for the turn, which would help because he would lose cards out of his hand. So he's going to go on ahead and attack Snow White Claire. I don't want to give up any resources in my hand, so I'll just take the hit. And he's then going to stand and attack my Vanguard. He hits a draw trigger, which is not very good for me. He will actually kind of have a slight misplay here because he ends up not giving the 5,000 extra to anyone. So he ends up passing, and which is lucky for me because he definitely could have got another hit off with Yaksha to my Vanguard and put the damage at 4-4. So I'm gonna go on ahead and stand and take advantage of the misplay. Of course, I could have been the player to say, hey, you could add 5,000 to him and attack, but we're still learning, so we kind of both have to roll with what happens to us, because I know I make misplays to you all the time. So I'm going to call a lot of people to the field this turn. I'm calling Florist to the right. I'm calling a Snow White Claire to the left, giving her 2,000 to my Vanguard. And then in the rear guards behind Florist, I'm going to call Drive Quartet Flows, and behind Snow White, I'm calling Drive Quartet Raysack. So when Raysack has Flows in play, I can have 3,000 extra on her, so she gets the boost for 7,000 total, which is excellent. I'm going to attack with my Vanguard, and I'm hitting for 21,000, and he is going to take the hit. He draws into a stand trigger, which standing doesn't really help him, but he does get 5,000 extra. I do remind him at this point that he can take the 5,000, and so he gives that to his Vanguard. So his Vanguard is at a constant 16,000 right now, which is okay. I can still hit him with my side, but I have to play a little bit smart here. So I'm going to attack with Florist to his Tejas and just retire it, and then I'm going to use Florist's ability to Soul Blast, and I can return a card to my hand. Now this is the point where I kind of make a misplay. What I should have done is attack with Claire to Tejas to get rid of it, and then attacked with Flores to Yaksha, and then return Snow White Claire to my hand. It's not too big of a misplay. I could have actually pulled Raysack to my hand because she's a little bit more important with her 7,000, and I know he has a Tejas in hand, so he could get rid of her. So really, I probably should have gone with that one, but instead I get the Blazer Idols. So I kind of just let that one roll. I recognize it, I think, in the next turn. So let's see. On his turn, he's going to drop down Tejas. I knew it was coming. It's not looking very good for me. He could definitely start going for board control. But he does need to play a little conservatively because he does have 5 points of damage to my 3. So he's going to go on ahead and attack with Tejas. And he's going to hit my Vanguard. Not a bad play. Still probably would have gone with Raysack. So I'm going to actually intercept and block just to get Snow White out. I know I have another Salem in hand, so I could definitely play her down next turn and start doing some nice counterblasting. He's then going to attack with Draconic Overlord, And um, at this point, uh, it might as well take a hit because I'm still up two, and he's gonna hit a draw trigger. Um, and he actually draws into another trigger. And then he's going to flip his second trigger, and it's a stand trigger. So that's not looking very good for me, especially since his Overlord's going to be striking with 21,000 right now. If he chooses to give the two extra 5,000s to him, of course he will, and he's going to attack my Vanguard again. Um, and then actually, what happens is I think he doesn't give the two extra 5,000s because I do block the attack. So kind of just another misplay. I think he just keeps forgetting that triggers actually grant an extra 5,000 to everyone. But you know, in a game like this where it's getting exciting, you know, you kind of just take what happens. So uh, I'm going to block that attack, of course, and then start my turn. Checking over references again before I do anything, and then I'm going to ride into Velvet Voice Reindeer, and then play down Top Idol um, Salem, or Super Idol Salem, I think, to my rear guard, and play Blazer Idols, and giving 2,000, of course, to my Vanguard. So I'm going to attack with Florhis to his Vanguard. He will block that attack. I will then attack with my Velvet Voice Reindeer. Now, what she lets me do is if I do reveal a grade 3, I can take a rear guard of mine and return it to the hand and play that rear guard grade 3 down that I trigger showed. So I'm going to go on ahead and check for triggers. I hit a stand trigger. So even if I don't pop the grade 3, I still get another chance to attack this turn. Then I hit a heal trigger, so that's great. So I'm gonna give 5,000 to Florist just to get her a little bit boosting attack, and 5,000 to Salem. So everything's looking positive right now. Even though I haven't done any damage to him, uh, everything is playing out all right. He's playing uber conservatively. Just he's gonna throw away everything to block everything he can do. He blocks Flores' second attack. I'm then going to counterblast with Salem to give her some extra attacking power, and I'm gonna attack for 28,000 to his Vanguard. I'm hoping to end the game right here. He realizes that, you know, he can block the attack. He's got a Tejas in hand, so he thinks he's going to intercept, but then he's like, oh, there's no reason to because I've got it in hand also. So he's going to throw 31,000 down and block the attack. I'm not too worried about it. I still have 4 points of damage. He's got 5. My field is looking excellent right now. His is kind of shaky, but we'll see what happens. So he is going to throw down Tejas. I'm checking at my damage to see how many heal triggers I have left, hoping that maybe I'll hit one in the next few turns or something. Maybe I'll take a damage and hit a heal trigger and heal it off. But he's going to drop down Tejas to his rear guard. He's going to attack with his other Tejas, and I'm going to block it. Right now in my hand, I've got, I think, one card, and it's a draw trigger, so it's not going to block too much, but it will help. Then let's see. He's kind of planning out his attack. He's going to attack with Dragonic Overlord. If he hits a trigger and remembers to give the 5,000 to Tejas, that'd be great for him because he could try to whittle away at my resources. I'm going to block with my last card in my hand. Luckily, I block the attack, and then we'll see an attack from Tejas. And he's going to make another misplay. I don't catch it until later, after the game's over. Tejas, when he attacks, he can attack in the back row also of rear guards. but he can only attack in the same column that he is attacking from. So he could have only attacked flows or floors. Um, Not too bad. I mean, it's a misplay that I should have caught too, so it kind of hurts me more than it hurts him. But then again, if he would have gotten rid of flows, he would have lost, or I would have lost the bonus for Resac. So uh, it kind of just went both ways there. I'm gonna attack with my Velvet Voice Reindeer. I probably shouldn't have done that. I should have definitely attacked with floors first, just for the possibility of getting another attack off in the turn. But I was going for his Tejas anyways, so I wasn't too worried about it. This is kind of a turn where I'm going to get rid of his board. I'm going to attack with his Vanguard with floors. He's going to intercept the attack. And I'm going to attack with Salem. Now, at this point, I'm thinking the game is over. He can't do anything. He's got, I think, one card in hand, one or two, and he can't block the attack. For sure, I know. Um, the only thing that could happen to keep him in this game is a trigger, a heal trigger, and of course he hits it. So he's gonna take a damage and he's gonna heal a damage. Not good for me. Definitely not good for me. Um, my hand size has gone up a little bit, which is good. I've got options to block, but he's still getting the perfect draws. So he's gonna call a Dragon Knight Nehalem to his rear guard, and I believe he's gonna just exhaust his hand, hoping to end the game right here. He's gonna call Berserk Dragon and a demonic dragon mage, Rakshasa. And when I hit him that turn, he got three. He had three face-up damage, so he can use Draconic Overlord's ability one more time. Of course, he's gonna do that, and so Draconic Overlord now has plenty of options. Personally, I would start with him to attack, but he's gonna attack with Nehalem and attack my Vanguard. I will take that hit, so I will stay at 5. Um, and he's at 5. I will block his second attack with Berserk Dragon, and he's going to finish out his turn. Really, with my hand size, I would definitely just go on ahead and maybe try to clear out my rear guard since you're going to stand every turn anyways. But I guess I can see to where when it comes to the point where it matters, where he's actually going to hit my Vanguard, I can block that attack. So he's just going to go on ahead and try to do as much damage as it can to my Vanguard, which is not a bad play. And I'm going to block the attack. He doesn't hit the trigger, so everything is looking a little bit better for me. I'm going to draw into a Rainbow Light Carrion. Now, my next play is a little questionable, but what I do is I call her behind my Vanguard, and then I'm going to get attacked by a Pokemon card in the middle of a match. That was kind of annoying, but I'm going to Counterblast with Salem and go on ahead and attack his Draconic Overlord. I know there are possibilities for a heal trigger, but he doesn't hit it, and he takes his final damage, and he loses the game. So I win right there, but very, very, very close game, very exciting game. But as I was gonna say, I call Rainbow Light Carrying to the rear guard spot behind my Vanguard, simply because if I attack with Velvet Light or Velvet Voice, whatever her name is, my Vanguard, and do happen to hit a grade 3, I can return her to my hand, and when I do that, I can use her Counterblast and Counterblast 1. Of course, I went for the win right there, so I counterblasted and didn't have an option to counterblast with carrying, but when I do counterblast and return her to hand, I can draw a card. So it would actually kind of help get cards into my hand, I guess, and if there was going to be another turn, I would have a little bit more blocking option. So there was, I guess, the strategy behind that call if it seemed a little bit questionable. But I still pulled this game out. Got really lucky there on my triggers, and of course he did too. So a really exciting game, and I hope you enjoyed watching it. I do apologize if I seem kind of spacey and a little yeah, like using and things like that a lot. My video editor decided not to work anymore, so I have to do everything in one shot. So I do apologize for how poor this video is constructed, but thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time on Game Corner.